In today's video, I'm going to reveal the 11 types of women you should absolutely avoid trusting or respecting if you want to preserve your peace of mind and prevent future troubles. Understanding these types can be the difference between a happy relationship and a life full of stress and regrets. Trust me, some of these types of women are more common than you might think. And if you don't learn to detect the signs today, you might find yourself held captive in an emotional peril that will be very difficult to overcome. This can have severe consequences for both your personal life and your self-esteem. Let me give you a heads up. Number 11 is the most unusual and, in my opinion, most horrible of them all, and it might impact the way you perceive certain behaviors. Unfortunately, it always goes unnoticed by many men, so don't miss any details and stick around until the end. Because besides spotting these types of women, I will also reveal to you the 3 mindsets you need to avoid by all means. These mindsets can make you look like a complete pushover, which is obviously not what you want to be. And here's an important point. Imagine discovering right at the end of this video a common behavior in your wife that you are probably ignoring now, but that may, if you do not act quickly, destroy your entire life forever. You've certainly witnessed those toxic relationships in which the man looks trapped, stressed by endless arguments, misunderstandings, and manipulation, with no idea how to set himself free. Imagine if, without knowing it, you were heading straight into that situation right now, disregarding signs that might be in front of you. And worse, if you don't act now, you might find yourself living a life filled with regrets, trapped in a relationship that ruins your peace of mind and erodes your self-worth day by day. But before you fall into such a trap, I would like to tell you what's really at stake. These 11 types of women, from the beginning to the end, are what you need to avoid by all means. And numbers 2, 5, 8, and 11 especially could be the most devastating of all. If you don't know how to cope with them, your life might take a turn for the worse in the twinkle of an eye. Do you want to discover how to safeguard your heart and mental well-being? Then stay with me until the end, because what I'm going to reveal could be the difference between enjoying a life of freedom or being trapped in an endless cycle of agony and regret. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that like button and activate notifications. With that said, let's get started. First, the careless one. Carelessness is a quality that, when present in a woman, causes major worries about her reliability. Careless individuals typically behave impulsively without thinking about the implications of their actions for other people. A lack of assessment and an inability to reflect before acting may have negative consequences for everyone involved. Careless people usually disregard the emotions and needs of other people, acting in a selfish manner. This lack of empathy can result in dangerous decisions and impulsive behaviors that severely damage personal and professional relationships. Trusting a person who showcases carelessness might expose you to unnecessary perils and instability, as their behaviors often lack reflection and consideration. Second, the deceitful one. Women who are prone to dishonesty damage ethical foundations and values, often putting you in stressful situations. Deceit can emerge in different forms, from manipulating situations to deliberately breaching agreements and commitments. Someone like that might expose you to financial, professional, and even personal risks. Sincerity is the foundation of trust, and a dishonest person frequently betrays that trust by acting dishonestly in both personal and professional situations. Trusting a person prone to dishonesty is a pathway to heartbreak and disappointment. A dishonest individual often seeks personal benefit at the expense of other people, compromising the value of relationships. Third, the confrontational one. A confrontational woman is someone who has a persistent tendency toward confrontations and arguments, requiring serious consideration when it comes to trust. This kind of volatile and argumentative attitude can create a toxic and stressful atmosphere around her, which makes it difficult to build a healthy and stable relationship. Confrontational individuals always seek out arguments, whether over minor matters or more serious issues. Their rageful eruptions and tendency to cause unnecessary disagreements can drain the calmness and vitality of those around them. Trusting a person with a persistent tendency for confrontation might result in an emotionally draining journey, ruining peace and harmony in the lives of people who interact with her. Fourth, the defamatory one. This type of woman is one who broadcasts falsehoods, tells lies, and creates detrimental narratives to destroy other people, and is always motivated by jealousy, bitterness, or just the desire to cause harm. Trusting a person with such a reputation might have negative implications for both your reputation and your emotional integrity. Fifth, the irresponsible one. An irresponsible woman is an obvious risk to trust in any relationship. A lack of devotion and problems taking responsibility for her flaws are obvious signals that trusting her could lead to disastrous consequences. Neglecting to give support, failure to keep promises, and refusing to face the consequences of her actions are traits that signal instability and danger. Furthermore, irresponsibility typically implies a lack of maturity and discipline. The unaccountable prefer to blame others for their mistakes, creating distrust. Sixth, the pessimist. Being around a woman who is continuously pessimistic, always critical, endlessly complaining, or having a defeatist perspective means being close to a person with negative energy. Such individuals tend to find issues in every solution, making it difficult to establish healthy and productive relationships. Chronic pessimists release a lot of energy and can create a toxic environment where pessimism and discouragement become contagious for those around them. Trusting a woman who continuously dwells on the negative can affect your mentality and emotional well-being. Seventh, the hypocritical and deceitful. Hypocritical and deceptive women behave like social chameleons, transforming their appearance as it suits them. Whenever they turn their backs on you in public, they disclose deception and betrayal, demonstrating interest only in benefiting from the relationship when it is suitable for them. Such behavior demonstrates an extreme lack of integrity, showing that the trust put in them is volatile and grounded in circumstances. If a woman behaves this way, it is better to keep a safe distance to avoid future regrets and frustrations. Eighth, the cruel. Cruel women are also just like social chameleons, transforming their image as it suits them. When they distance themselves from you in public, they demonstrate deceit and betrayal, showing only interest in their own benefits when it is convenient. Such behavior reveals a severe lack of integrity, showing that the trust placed in them is unstable and sensitive to circumstances. If a woman behaves this way, it is important that you keep a safe distance to avoid future heartbreak and problems. Ninth, the alert of personal intuition. When your intuition gives you a red flag, it is necessary to pay attention to this natural self-defense signal. Women you cannot trust usually create a feeling of discomfort whenever you are around them. This feeling may manifest as inexplicable fatigue, exhaustion, or even a horrible discomfort that you cannot fully understand. Our body and mind have the capacity to sense signals that we often ignore. Like the way we feel negative outcomes when anything is harmful, being around untrustworthy individuals can cause this weird feeling, which indicates that something is out of alignment with truth. 10th, third-party warnings. If friends and relatives express concerns about a woman, it is important to carefully listen to these insights. Many times, a clear indication that someone is untrustworthy is when those close to you raise concerns about this person. These warnings can include problematic past relationships in which other people detach themselves due to toxic behaviors, questionable mentality, and the person in question's behavior. The untrustworthy person normally downplays these past issues, pointing fingers at the ex-partner, a manipulative approach that acts as a clear warning sign for possible forthcoming issues. 11th, women who drink uncontrollably. Trust matters in every relationship, but coping with women who lose control when drinking can jeopardize that trust. Women who become uncontrollable under the influence of alcohol typically display irresponsible, unpredictable, and possibly deadly behavior. They can become hostile, say or do things they regret, and make reckless decisions that endanger themselves and others. Alcohol can weaken inhibitions, causing them to disclose private information about other people or act in impulsive and dangerous ways. So it is important to be sensitive to these warning signs. Now let's explore the 3 mindsets you should avoid, as they can make you a manipulable fool. 1. Individuals who face a chronic fear of saying no typically find themselves stressed with unnecessary responsibilities, resulting in a devaluation of their time and energy. 2. Being extremely agreeable. Implementing an overly complacent and agreeable stance might be dangerous, as this mindset paradoxically undermines the respect others have for us. People who consistently avoid saying no and place other people's needs before their own may be considered lacking in opinion and even vulnerable. This persistent seek for approval hardly results in gaining respect. On the other hand, it might contribute to feelings of insecurity and anxiety. 3. Lack of assertiveness. Avoiding expressing personal views in order to avoid disagreements, or because of an inability to know when to walk away enormously, undermines one's mental health and well-being. Persisting in unfavorable circumstances, whether due to a false sense of commitment or fear of change, can result in continued disrespect and severe harm. Knowing when it's time to say goodbye is not a sign of weakness, but rather of wisdom. Trust is a treasured asset, and it is our obligation to protect it by carefully choosing whom we build our faith in. It's not enough to observe superficially. It's necessary to understand the true nature of people who truly deserve our trust, and those who are willing to betray it. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share.